Happy to be here one more Monday. God is good all the time, right? And all the time? All right, so welcome to the House of Justice, the National Network House of Justice. This is our Huddle night, basically with our young and young at heart gather. Who knows what the Huddle acronym stands for? Dan?
Yes, I know. Helping to unite dreamers, develop, and empower.
I think you said helping to unite dreamers to develop, lead, and empower. All right, let's clap him up if you said that. I think that's what you said. All right. But we're excited. I know a lot of people have some Super Bowl leftover energy. Some people are excited that their team won. Some people are mad. Some people are more excited about the Kendrick Lamar performance and all the, the innuendos and the messages that were sent. I think that was pretty popping. I'm excited because it's still Black History Month and we're here. We're alive, which means that we have an opportunity to not only witness Black history, but also make Black history, right? All right, so let's get started today with opening prayer by our lead advisor and our National Crisis Director, Sister Patrice Perry, and she will also, following the prayer, give us our Black history fact. Let's clap her up.
Good evening, Huddle family. Thank you, Ashley. All hearts and minds are clear. Let us pray. Most gracious and wise God, we thank you for this moment, this very time in history. God, we thank you for being a healer. We thank you, God, for watching over us and protecting us since the last time that we met. God, we call on the names of Pastor Malcolm Byrd, the Riccadelli family. God, we ask you to go into their homes. You know what they stand in need of. We ask you to be with them right now. Whatever they stand in need of, God, we ask you to go to their houses right now. And we know that you can hold up Pastor Byrd and you can hold up Mr. Riccadelli and his family. God, we thank you for each and every family that's represented under the sound of my voice. God, we thank you for each and every person who found it not robbery to be here today to help make someone's life brighter, help make someone smile a little bit brighter. God, we thank you. We thank you for watching over our president and founder, Reverend Dr. Al Sharpton. God, we ask you that any family that could not get here tonight, that you be with them and you help them to be able to watch us on the internet or any social media. God, we ask you to bless the food, bless the hands that prepared it, and bless the hands that will serve it. God, we ask this in nothing but your matchless name. And under my voice, all of your children said, amen. I would like to talk about our Black history fact for today. 45 years ago today, President Lyndon Johnson signed the Civil Rights Act of 1954 into law. Yeah, you can clap that up. That was amazing. The Civil Rights Act of 1954 outlaws discrimination on the basis of race, color, religion, natural origin, sex in public accommodations, employment, and federally funded programs. It also established a framework within the federal government for combating discrimination by giving the U.S. Attorney General the power to file discrimination suits, expanding the mandate of the U.S. Commission on Civil Rights. The Supreme Court's 1954 decision in Brown versus Board of Education, which held that racially segregated public schools were unconstitutional, sparked the civil rights movement and a push toward desegregation and equal rights. The House passed the bill on February 10th, 1964, after 70 days of public hearings and testimony from more than 275 witnesses, but a 57-day filibuster prevented the Senate from voting. Finally, on June 10th, 1964, the Senate voted to end the filibuster and passed the bill a week later. The Civil Rights Act of 1964 is the most sweeping civil rights legislation Congress has ever passed and paved the way for the Voting Rights Act of 1965, the Fair Housing Act of 1968, and the Americans with Disabilities Act of 1990, among other key laws. So that wraps up my Black History fact, and I'm glad you were listening and corrected the year. Thank you.
Thank you, Treese. Let's clap her up. And next we will have our scripture and our leading of Lift Every Voice and Sing, which is the National Black Anthem by our creative contributor, Danielle. Let's clap him up. We can do better than that. Let's clap Danielle.
Amen. The scripture this evening that I'm reading is Isaiah chapter 26, verses 3 through 7, King James Version of the Bible. Thou wilt keep him in perfect peace, whose mind is stayed on thee, because he trusteth in thee. Trust ye in the Lord forever. For in the Lord Jehovah is everlasting strength. For he bringeth down them that dwell on high. The lofty city, he layeth it low. He layeth it low, even to the ground. He bringeth it even to the dust. The foot shall tread it down, even the feet of the poor and the steps of the needy. The way of the just is uprightness. Let me say that again. The way of the just is uprightness. Thou, most upright, dost weigh the path of the just. That is the scripture. So we're going to go further into tonight's program and sing the National Black Anthem. I believe the audience is encouraged to sing. If there are singers, I believe you're encouraged to join in song. If you'd like to join in song, there's a microphone.
Lift every voice and sing till earth and heaven ring, ring with the harmonies of liberty. Let our rejoicing rise high as the listening skies. Let it resound loud as the roads sea. Sing a song full of faith that the dark paths has taught us. Sing a song full of hope that the present has brought us. Facing the rising sun of our new day begun. Let us march on till victory. Let us march on till victory. Oh, let us march on till victory is
Thank you. Let's clap Dan up. Let's clap Dan up. Let's clap Lettucey up. Let's clap Dan up. All right, all right, all right. Now that, for those who don't know, Lettucey was the lady who was singing. That was from the Super Bowl yesterday. I thought that was great that they opened up with the Lift Every Voice and Sing the National Black Anthem. And she sang that, did she not? And thank you, Dan. You sang as well. All right. So now we can start, and I'm happy to see some young people in the building. Salute to their mommy, I remember you. Thank you for bringing them out. All right, so we have action alerts and announcements. If you have any good news, any type of good news, if you got a good grade on your test, if you have a new job, any type of good news, we want you to prepare that while I'm sharing the announcement so that you can come right to this mic and share your good news briefly. If it is not good news, if it is just randomness or statements, we can hold those. Please, I urge you. We don't want to be rude, but if it's not good news, please do not share it, all right? Here are NAN announcements. Okay, so victims of the wildfire. These are our action alerts written by Dr. Jamal Watson. On this past Thursday, Reverend Sharpton, who is Reverend Sharpton? Maybe the young ladies don't know. Who is Reverend Sharpton? Let's help them. Do you guys know who Reverend Sharpton is? Do you know who Reverend Sharpton is? You want to help her? Anybody want to help her out? You want to scream it out? Damien? Okay, in real life terms. So if they don't know Rev is, they don't know who Ashley is. So being my father means what? So do you know what civil rights activist is? Somebody who fights for justice or fights for their rights, right? So you know who Martin Luther King is? Right, so do you know what Jesse Jackson is? You do, they don't. So that's a problem, guys, that our young people don't know who the icons of civil rights icons are. So, but that's why we're not here to beat you up, we're here to teach you. That's why I'm glad you came here tonight, right? So I'm glad you're in the building. You do know that Black History Month, we're in Black History Month, right? So who do you know? Okay, y'all looked at me like, okay, it was like, hold on, I'm not, okay, all right. Just making sure. So who do you reference besides Dr. King? Who do you reference as Black history?
Rosa Parks.
Let's clap her up. All right, that's good. What about y'all? Malcolm X, all right. And what about you? It's okay, no pressure. Kevin Hart, all right. That's a different array. Let's clap them up for giving their answers. All right, so we want to teach you about, they are all Black history, but we here at the National Action Network, we are in the tradition of Dr. Martin Luther King, and we basically we are civil rights activists, social justice activists, all types of activists, and we are here to basically fight for our rights and make sure that you have a better present day and a better future than all of us had, right? Right? Okay. All right, so let me go forward. Now y'all done changed my announcements because y'all, okay. To bring it down. All right, let's start here. Let's jump here. What happened in LA as far as the wildfires? Does anybody know? What does that mean? She said Trump refused to put in the funds to help them. Let's clap her up already. Yes, like Mary Pinnella's clapping that up. So basically, who can say quickly what happened with the wildfires? JT, you want to share? Since we went to LA? Briefly, what happened?
Our particular area that we went, that Reverend Sharpton did the memorial service for, unfortunately, they wasn't highlighted like the other areas. And this particular area was all Black. It's a Black neighborhood, a Black community, literally burnt to the ground. Me, Rev, and Rachel, and Ashley literally rode through the area. And it wasn't like a 10-minute drive. It was like a 30-minute drive that we literally rolled around in circles and everything was burnt from ground up. Only thing you really could see was the fireplaces. I don't know if you noticed, but fireplaces won't consume. Literally, that's all you saw. So yeah, but you are correct. This area was not publicized at all in the media. And when Donald Trump went to California, this is the area he did not go to at all. Didn't even mention it.
Thank you, JT. Let's clap him up. All right, so the area he's talking about is Altadena, and Altadena is a part of Pasadena. So Pasadena we often hear about with the Kardashians and all that in LA, but Altadena was a thriving, one of, if not, I think they said it was the most thriving area for African Americans that owned homes. Now it's completely demolished. Literally, I think I saw 3 buildings standing in the whole area. So imagine going from 155th in Harlem, driving down to, I'd say 125th? 155th, 125th? Yeah, 125th Street and going back up. And all of the buildings just gone. Everything just gone. And they're waiting for answers. They're waiting for help. It was great to see the community helping each other. We went to several stops and it was the community helping each other. NAN LA was out there helping. We had a rally and a memorial. We helped to bury 3 of three people who lost their lives. One happened to be, his father was a member of NAN who lost his life, and he was there with KW Tulos, who's the head of, well, who helps with the NAN LA chapter. But there are no words. And I feel bad just going back there. We got to leave. Like, we got to leave and go back to regular life. They couldn't leave. There was no answer. There was no resolve. We can offer them help. The guy literally started crying. We were in one of the meetings, and he was talking about the millions of dollars that they have raised on the Grammys. And he was like, we don't even know when we'll see that money or where that's even going to. So we want to make sure that we're helping those in our communities, because we always know when somebody gets sick in America, the minorities get the flu. And right now they are suffering in Altadena. And the church that we went to, First AME Church, is doing a lot, so we're making sure that we're helping on the ground and sending them items that is needed. But they need funds, and they need prayer, and they need us to remember, because by next month, people probably will be, well, next week, people will already forget. So we need to make sure that this is something on the front of our minds, because it's not gonna just get fixed by next week. And we all know, like the young lady said, Trump went there, he did his photo op, and he didn't even go that way or mention it. So we have to make sure that we take care of our own, right? Right, so thank you to Reverend Sharpton and Attorney Crump for leading us in that effort. LA Fire Justice, thanks for what you're doing. And we're gonna continue to keep you guys in the know about what's going on. All right, Trayvon Martin. Does anybody know who Trayvon Martin is? Who? The young man in Florida, that's a good start. Let's add to that. Anybody wanna help her? Come on, yep. Right. And what did he have in his hands? Skittles and the Arizona iced tea. Y'all know that story? The young man walking in from Sanford, Florida, he was walking from the store, and he had Arizona iced tea and the Skittles in his hand, and a fake cop, he basically he wanted authority, and he took it upon himself to say that he was in the wrong neighborhood. His name was George Zimmerman. He killed Trayvon Martin. Trayvon Martin was not even, he was 18 years old. And this past week, it approached the anniversary for his birthday. And his mother, Sabrina Fulton, who we love, she's been on this stage several times, Javaris Fulton, they honor his birthday rather than the killing of him. Usually we remember the commemoration, but they rather honor his birthday and celebrate his life and what would have been. So we always remember Trayvon Martin. We always put the Martins first here in our family. We helped to make that name a worldwide name. Reverend Sharpton helped to make that issue a worldwide issue. Hoodies Up, that was a whole movement, and it led into so many other things, from We Can't Breathe to so many. Yes, Winston, sorry. Oh, George Zimmerman, yeah. Well, so one of the reasons George Zimmerman got off, Winston said, is because his father was a judge. There was so many issues with that case. Trayvon Martin, to me, kicked off before George Floyd, the Black Lives Matter movement, and all of that we saw today with Trayvon Martin. I don't think we would have seen it because we didn't understand what was going on. And that's the first time I saw people my age, when I was in college, not go on spring break, but they went to Florida to make sure that there was accountability, and there was none. So just want everyone to understand his name. Can we say his name, Trayvon Martin? All right, let's always remember that and tell that story about what happened to Trayvon Martin. All right, DEI. What does DEI stand for? Just shout it out. She said do it yourself. No. She said do it yourself. Diversity, equity, and inclusion. DEI stands for diversity, equity, and inclusion. What week are we on for DEI? No. What week are we on, Ernest? 58. And what is the 58th week for the young ladies who don't know what we are talking about? What do we do for DEI, and why are we outside for 58 weeks now? And speak loudly so that we can hear on those who are watching virtually, please. Yes, Mr. Waters, Ernest Waters.
Thank you. We are picketing outside of Bill Ackman, the billionaire's office, because he started this whole thing when he fired Maureen Gay. And then when he fired her, he said, let's go after DEI. And that's why we picket him, because he started. So we picket him every week on Thursday at 12 to 1. So come out and join us, everyone that's
That's right. Let's clap that up. Stand up and fight back. So he explained it. I won't be the dead horse. But yes, that's why we are outside Bill Ackman's office. That is also why we have kicked off our Costco boycott in the continuation of efforts to support DEI, because Trump and his administration has doubled down against DEI. They said that it means didn't earn it. That's what I thought you said. But I don't want us to get familiar. I think that's a joke. Because if you look at who he has nominated for his cabinet, most of those people do not qualify. So the nerve of him to be talking about somebody who doesn't qualify for something, and look what he's doing. But that's another story for another Did You Know article. For the boycotts, I just wanted to share, we've been doing them. They were active. We kicked it off in New York City. We had one in Union, New Jersey. This past week, we had one in Louisville, Kentucky. Also in Inglewood, California, we had one, and then they are organizing in Georgia. So we are moving around, supporting Costco, because Costco has stood firm and supported us with the DEI efforts. We are also working on a lot of things for the convention. Leading up to the 90 days, Reverend Sharpton announced the 90 days, we would need 90 days to the research for the boycott, the national boycott, but a lot of things are coming towards that. So make sure that you go online every day to nationalactionnetwork.net, because we have a lot of announcements and a lot of details that you might miss in the email blast. So make sure you check the website, because a lot is coming, a lot of information is here. We welcome more young people to the circle. Let's clap yourselves up. All right. God, I prayed this morning. God, lips to God's ears. All right. So now, that was the boycott. We have a few more announcements, and I'm out of your way. All right. So, does anybody know why I might have red on? Anybody? Who said it? Somebody said it. Heart. What about heart? No. Okay, no. We don't want heart attacks, no. So, February is American Heart Month, right? American Heart Month. So February 7th was everybody's supposed to wear red day. We missed that on Friday, so I brought that to today, okay? So if you wear red this month, basically it's in support of National Wear Red Day. We have some information about hearts, like you said, heart attacks, but that's not the point of of the information. That's scary. Scared me. So basically, they urged everyone to wear red on National Wear Red Day, which is Friday, February 7th, but basically the point of this is to learn about risk factors and to celebrate survivors. Your heart is very, 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 very important. I don't know many people that can function without a healthy heart. So it's important to learn about how to take care of your heart and to support those who do the work like the American Heart Association and share the information about what we can do to save ourselves and basically prevent heart attacks and issues around the heart, like smoking and doing bad things, right? Right. We're also going to have a CPR class, and that's why I wanted to go towards that. It won't be this month, it should have been, but it will be the end of next month. We're going to have a CPR class. They also offer, I didn't know this, I'm showing my age, virtual CPR classes. So I have the information here if you are interested in doing that yourself and just going online and learn how to do it yourself, but we're going to do it collectively as a huddle at the end of March to learn CPR as a group, because it's very, very, very important, and that was a part of the entire package that we were sent for Web Red Day. All right, almost done. Almost done. And then if anybody has announcements, you can start coming to the mic here, or if anybody has good news, you can come to this mic here as well. All right. Anyone heard of Autumn Lockwood? This is my good news. Autumn Lockwood, it's a woman. All right, so Autumn Lockwood is now the first black female coach to win a Super Bowl. Let's clap her up. Right, nobody knows who that is. So Autumn Lockwood made history 2 years ago when she became the first black woman coach to coach in the Super Bowl. She is the assistant sports performance coach and has made history as the first black history and NFL history as the first black female coach to win in the Super Bowl. Now, she's not a head coach, but she is the coach, and we salute her, and we want more people to know her name. Her name is Autumn Lockwood. So congratulations, Sister Autumn Lockwood, and salute to you, and we want more like you. Congratulations to them Eagles. All right. Also, lastly, we want to celebrate I know Chris was here last week, but he was one of the founding huddlers, so I wanted to celebrate him being back in the building. He's lost his grandfather, so we send him our condolences, but he was here last week, and we want to send him our love. Last but not least, for the good news, we're celebrating birthdays. So if you were born in the month of February, I want you to stand up right now, please. So, we got Lisa Goldie Harps, who we love dearly. She has helped since the first huddle we've ever had here. She is the president of the Women's Auxiliary. We honor you, we love you. They're gonna have a big cake, of course, on Saturday, so you should come to the rally, but we're also gonna have a cake here to celebrate with Huddle. I'm going around, okay? We have Lisa. Ricardo is not here, but we love Ricardo. February 6th was his birthday. That's Patrice's big brother, and he always shows love here. Sister Meg, we love the real Meg. She's one of our songbirds, and she has been a part of Huddle for the last 3 years. She's the organizer in New York City. Salute to you, Meg. Her birthday was February 6th as well. Cheryl Chapman, I see you in the back with your green mask. That's one of our pillars. We love you, sister. We stand on you. And she's one of our elders, but she's one of the youngest at heart because she's here when no one else is here, and we love you dearly. Thank you for your support. Sister, young lady here, young princess, how old are you turning? And when is your birthday? February 13th, she's turning 13. What's your name? What's your name? Samaya. So let's stand up, Samaya. Stand up, Samaya. Stand it up. This week she's turning 13, so let's clap her up and welcome her to Huddle, and we hope you come back. If you come back next week, we'll have your cake. And then, of course, JT and Nancy Crawford, who is our host, and she's also one of our new staffers. Their birthdays is February 22nd, so we're going to be celebrating them as well. Any other February birthdays? Ron is the 23rd. Coordinator Ron McHenry, most of you guys know him. His birthday is the 23rd as well. So we're going to be celebrating all this good birthdays February. All right, so that's my good news. Come on, TV.
Both of y'all cracking me up. I ain't even said nothing yet. Okay, so my good news is also a part announcement. This Friday is Valentine's Day. It is. And I'm a relationship coach. So I'm going to be having a free 1-hour Zoom training on something called The Power of Romance. I have it on my Facebook page, which is called the Relationship Mastery Institute. And I want everybody to come. It's a Zoom meeting, but I want y'all to go there, click on it, and join so you can learn something about romance. Because when you look at Google romance, romance never comes up. But without romance, your relationship ain't gonna last. So that's the first thing. Second thing is I'm starting a course in February 28th called the Instrument Panel. How to have your brain so structured that it's as structured as an instrument panel, you can't get nothing wrong. And so it's gonna start on the 28th. I'm also gonna have an introduction then. And I actually got one paid customer already. Yay.
All right.
So that's my good
Thank
news.
you, TV. Thomas Patterson.
I'd like to first say thank everybody for coming tonight.
Speak in the mic.
I'd like to say thank you for all those who came tonight. And for the youth, the 5 youth, I got $5 each for everybody that came for the youth.
Good, TV. That's great news.
Also, what's important is that this DEI, only thing that I like about it and that Trump is that now it allows those who've been fortunate enough to benefit from affirmative action program to understand how they benefited. A lot of our people take for granted that these opportunities were earned by their hard work. And it's a shame that many of them don't come back to our community to educate our youth, to educate our seniors, to protect our seniors. They go out and go buy houses in the suburb, and then when they get in trouble, then they want to come knock on our door. It's frightening. Like Reverend Sharpton said this weekend, you got to wake up and start becoming a man because our community needs your protection, needs your guidance, needs your love. That's why our kids running around here confused now because there's not a thing. You want to go out here and make babies, but you don't want to take care of no babies. Step up and be proud.
Clap him up. All right, y'all look at his face. He has the money hoodie on, so you went and go find him for your $5. And Sage is a youth too, so that's 6. Make sure you find him, Sage. All right, all about the Benjamins, sister.
We have to help each other. I'm out there helping, moving around. I know sometimes Dr. Reverend Al Sharpton cannot be in every place, but we supposed to put our feet on the ground, and that's what I'm doing.
All right, thank you. Let's clap her up. No good news from nobody in the circle? Come on, let's clap her up. Let's make her feel warm. Come on. Come on, North Face. Come on, Gray Jays. Come on, no. Let's go. Let's go. Mm-hmm. You don't want to share it? You want to help her? You want to share her phone? So she got a good grade on her test. What's a good grade? She got a 42.5 out of 50. That's great. Anybody good in math here? Who wants to give us the percentage? That's 80. That's light. Okay, let's clap that up. That's a B. That's good. All right. All right. Oh, she said 49 out of 50. That's an A. Go ahead. Let's clap that. That's an A. That's what I'm talking about. I used to cry when I got a B. That's A. Good job. Anything else? You got good news? She got an A on her math test. What math are you taking? What grade are you in? She's in 7th grade and she got an A on her math test. Let's clap them up. All right. Love to see it. Love to see it. All right. All right. Anything else before we move on? Alexis went to go see Hell's Kitchen. That's great news. And Dominique, my big sister, is one of the producers for that show. That's great news. They need tickets. The young people need tickets. Right. Okay. Okay. All right. Dom, you have your announcement, your education announcement? For those who don't know, education is under attack. Under the Trump administration, education is under attack. It's not a game. The Department of Education is saying they're just gonna, well, I'm not even gonna give, I'm gonna let Dominique break it down for you. Let's clap Dominique up.
Thank you.
Let's clap Dominique up.
Thank you. I have a quick announcement. So this is about, in particular, HBCUs, historically black colleges and universities. They're in jeopardy of losing funding for their Black cultural studies programs. So many of you know, there was a mandate, an order, an executive order from President Trump. HBCUs are 200-year-old institutions that are one of the largest segments of this nation to create the black middle class. And our Speaker of the House, Adrian Adams, has come forth and made a statement about the fact that the executive order that President Trump issued to pause federal loans and grants is directly affecting the HBCUs because they are forced to close different programs and studies within the institution because of the lack of federal grants that's going to be granted to these institutions. So I wanted us to be mindful not only of this in terms of the higher education awareness. As we know, our young people, we want them to go to college, but we want to make sure that we bolster opportunities and make sure that everything that they need to learn, right, in higher education, in the higher education arena is available to them. So this is a direct hit, and it's very, very terrible. And so elected officials are speaking out about this. The pause, there is a pause that was issued, that was issued in front of President Trump actually freezing the funds, but that hold is only temporary and is going to be released very soon as they uncover and continue to uncover, as they call an investigation behind why the executive order was issued. So it's going to be lifted any day now, and these universities are going to be faced with not being able to receive federal funding for this quarter, for this year, and it's a direct hit. So I wanted to make that announcement so everyone is aware of it. We definitely need to up our ante in terms of our activism and what we're going to do, and I know that we're going to continue to discuss our direct action in terms of how we're going to combat this. So thank you.
Thank you, Dominique. All right, we're going to jump into our Did You Know segment. The order, Dom, you can come right back, is Dominique talking about DEI. Second is Daniel with the You Said. Third is Patrice with Altadena, and myself with NFL, if there is time. Wait, I'm sorry, Dom, you can sit right here. Before you come, we're going to have an Artivism piece. Artivism is a combination of art and activism, right? And we coined that here. We have a spoken word from our very own Patrice Perry, who I like to call the voice. Let's clap her up.
Thank you, Ashley. So, with so much going on in this world, I couldn't sleep one night, so the Lord put this on my heart. I hope you receive it. This was a letter to God at nighttime. Dear God, we really need you, and this world is out of hand. We still trying to figure out how we got a felon with 34 counts controlling this land. We are living in a state of emergency, literally day by day, watching all our rights one by one being stripped away. And all of Michael Jackson's songs, he said it the best. They don't care about us. They just care about checks. I want y'all to think about it. DEI is not a new case. They stay disrespecting us by playing in our face. They try to be proper by saying, hey ma'am and hey mister, out here treating us like we the color purple sisters. Me and my sis, we'll never part. That's what they want us to believe. But the real remedy is we must stay on our bended knees. We must make a solemn vow to be committed to prayer. We living in a time when even planes can't stay in the air. Looking at the calendar, man, we just stepped into 25. Honestly speaking, we all out here just trying to survive. They tell us to buy Visine, that it clears up our blood-stained eyes. We just trying to figure out how that man in the White House keep telling us lies. They say our lives matter. Wake up, that's part of the plan, to distract us from believing that it's all in God's hand. Years ago they wrote it. In the lyrics they said, fight the power. It should be renamed Fighting Every Hour. Think about it, people, and let that sink in. Because they know when we fight, we win. When we fight, we win. Our ancestors are rolling in their graves, watching how this generation allowed them to turn us into modern day slaves. They try to get us to whisper it. Nah, we gotta scream it out loud. In the late James Brown voice, we black and we proud. Don't let them put fear in you. That's what they want you to see. Hit them with this scripture. It's from Psalms chapter 23. We are reminded that surely goodness and mercy shall follow me. And in Pastor Jamal Bryant's words, faith around and find out. I trust in God. We trust in prayer and never ever doubt. We were built for this moment. It's clear to see. We will keep shouting, no justice, no peace. God bless you.
All right, thank you, Patrice. That was amazing. All right, let's talk a little bit, young people, about DEI. What's DEI? What does DEI stand for? Somebody in the circle. Diversity, equity, and inclusion. So I'm going to talk a little bit about, because I'm sure everybody has seen what's been going on in terms of companies who have either said, I agree, I'm going to keep and uphold my DEI policy in my organization or my corporation, or they said, nah, we good with DEI. We can nix that. So at National Action Network, we have started what is called a boycott. I want people to be very clear in terms of what that is. We are saying we are going to put our dollars and support those businesses, those corporations who said, I'm upholding DEI. DEI can stay. Right? That's the first part of this boycott. So we've been doing this, and many of you who are in this room have joined us in our boycott efforts. We've been going to Costco, we're going to Ben & Jerry's, we're going to Apple, we're going to Macy's, we're going to all of the establishments, and we are putting our dollars in those corporations that say, I'm upholding DEI. Now, the other side of that is, yes, there are Black-owned businesses that we want to also uphold and amplify and enhance and support. But we also know the flip side of this is there are a lot of Black businesses who have pushed through to be on the shelves, to be distributed at many corporations who have now yet rolled back their DEI efforts, such as Target and Walmart. So I want young people, as we're having these DEI conversations, to understand what we're saying here, okay? We are we are for putting your dollars into corporations that support DEI. We are for Black-owned businesses being able to be distributed anywhere they choose in any corporation that they want to get into, okay? Understood? Y'all looking at me with the crazy eyes. But we also understand that we need to withhold our dollars, okay, from corporations that are not supporting DEI. Why? Because if we withhold our dollars, it will force them to understand and to see that their consumer base, okay, is mainly us, and we support DEI and want to have DEI, and we deserve DEI, and we deserve to also, as consumers, be supported in the highest form of the corporation possible. So it's not okay that we can spend our money in Walmart, but we can't be on an executive board. We can't sit on the board of directors. We can't be a president or vice president of the corporation. But our money is good enough to spend in your store. So we're saying there's a problem with that. That's a problem. And if we withhold our dollars, okay, they will see that the consumers matter and they have to pay attention to their consumers, correct? Which is us. So I wanted to go through this list. First of all, explain how shareholders work, because young people, as we are empowering ourselves, and we're also empowering ourselves financially as well as spiritually and actively, right? We also need to understand what these terminologies mean and how they have power in these organizations. So shareholders, these proposals that would have been unremarkable are now a closely watched battlefront in the war against corporate diversity and inclusion initiatives. When Costco asked investors to vote against an anti-DEI shareholder proposal at the company's recent annual meeting, they won their support, and it should have been a non-event. But such an exchange is typical in the corporate world. A small group of investors buy a tiny stake in a company, and they use that platform to call for a specific change, like pushing it to adopt better climate change policies, or taking succession plans even more seriously, or upholding DEI standards. Their proposal then goes to a vote among all the shareholders at the company's annual meeting. And boards, those that sit on the board, usually urge everyone to reject the ideas for the simple reason that companies don't like to be told how to run their business. So that's where they claim this whole thing started. Over the past few years, anti-DEI resolutions, like the one Costco faced, have become increasingly common, but their support rates are usually in the low single digits. In any other year, Costco's vote would have garnered little to no attention, but this year, Costco's stance became a noteworthy symbol of resistance because they said, I'm standing by and upholding DEI. As President Donald Trump issues executive orders to end DEI, and one company after another rolls back their DEI initiatives, a fresh crop of shareholder proposals that would have once been unremarkable are now a closely watched battlefront in the war against corporate diversity and inclusion initiatives. So here's what we want to be clear on. When these annual meetings take place with these corporations, I got the dates right here. So let's start with American Express. They are meeting on April the 17th, and they are a company that's requesting that the financial company remove DEI considerations from its executive pay formulas. They meet on the 17th of April. Apple, they meet on the 25th of this month. They have also received to reject a proposal from the National Center for Public Policy Research, which is a conservative advocacy group, asking that this tech company cease all DEI-related activities, including dropping its diverse supplier programs, okay? Berkshire Hathaway has asked, they meet on May the 3rd, and they have asked the SEC to exclude a proposal from the NCPPR asking the company to perform a legal audit of its race-based initiatives. This letter to the SEC cited studies on the benefits of diversity and included a quote even from Warren Buffett speaking at Berkshire's 2023 annual meeting that said, "If I had been born Black, a woman, or in a different country, I wouldn't nearly have enjoyed the same type of life that I have." We also want to talk about General Motors. Y'all like cars? General Motors is up for grabs. On June the 4th, they're meeting, and they're calling on an automaker to drop the practice of attaching DEI goals to their executive payroll. Okay? Goldman Sachs, we're talking about big banks. Okay? They're meeting on April the 24th, and they also submitted, the NLPC has also submitted a shareholder proposal over diversity aspirations and executive pay incentives, including the compensation of the CEO himself, David Solomon. IBM Computers, okay? In a partnership with an IBM shareholder, the Heritage Foundation, which is a powerful conservative think tank, has asked the company to drop pay incentives for executives tied to DEI targets. JP Morgan Chase, they're meeting on May the 19th. The NLPC and the NCPPR are targeting the bank for DEI incentives in executive pay and its general DEI programs, claiming that the practices leave the bank open to reputational and legal risks. Levi's, the jeans, their meeting date is also April the 17th. They're asking Levi's investors to vote in favor of its request that the company consider abolishing its DEI program, policies, department, and goals. MasterCard, they're meeting on June the 18th. They've also been submitted a proposal to the credit and the credit card company over executive pay and DEI goals. Mickey D's, McDonald's, y'all, have already stated that they are rolling back their DEI initiatives. They actually canceled their annual meeting, so we do not know the date of when they're gonna meet, but they already scaled back some of their DEI programs after facing online criticism. And they have also been submitted a shareholder proposal over the executive pay at the company and its connection to diversity targets. And we have PepsiCo. Pepsi Cola, I don't know if somebody's in here drinking Pepsi right now, I'm sure. But their date has also been pushed back, their annual meeting, because they're revisiting their incentive guidelines for executive pay to consider eliminating discriminatory DEI goals from compensation inducements to reduce risk exposure. So this is what I'm talking about. All of these companies are meeting to discuss how they're going to end or advertently incorporate DEI without being under much scrutiny from the federal government. These are major corporations. These are corporations that we can walk outside in our community and see. They exist amongst us. They serve us. And we contribute, right, to the success of these corporations. So I wanted you to know which organizations are up to NDEI. It's quite a few of them, and I wanted to actually pinpoint them for our young people so they are aware. The next time they want to, go get some McDonald's fries and some chicken nuggets, just know that y'all can go there and shop, and you can even work there, but you can't own a McDonald's, you can't sit on the board, you can't be the president or the vice president of this organization. All right, now, to drive it on home, Target. Everybody say Target. Now, I know some of y'all call it Target, because I loved Target, but I had to stop shopping at Target, okay? Because Target was a main company from the very beginning, like Walmart, that got in front and said, we're ending all of our DEI programs, it's a wrap. So now, Target was out front first, and now they're being sued by their shareholders. We talked about what a shareholder was, right, young people? They're being sued for allegedly withholding the risk associated with DEI. So there is a possibility, young people, to fight back through our shareholders, okay? And so we at National Action Network, well, guess what? We about to become shareholders, y'all, about all these companies. We about to become shareholders of McDonald's. We about to become shareholders at Apple. We're about to become shareholders at JP Morgan Chase, because we want to be a part of these meetings that y'all are convening so that we can get our votes in too. All right, and we need to be able to confront the fact that we need DEI, and we have to be in the room as stakeholders in order to get that leverage. So that is the plan. A lot of people are asking, well, what's Sharpton doing? Sharpton's out there making a fuss, walking through Costco's. He ain't buying nothing. No, we have a real plan of action, because we're going from boycotts to owning stocks, okay, in these companies, and we're not going to stop until all of us in this room become shareholders of these companies that we're fighting against. So young people, I hope y'all are being paying attention to this, because this is the fight of your time. We're fighting for y'all to be able to get these jobs. A lot of us in this room are retired. We're older. We ain't gonna be applying for these DEI jobs, but y'all are. And we want to make sure that y'all have access and opportunity to be able to do so. So I hope y'all are paying attention, because we're talking a lot about this. If anyone has a comment or wants to add to the discussion, please come at this time and share your thoughts. Thank you. PepsiCo, not Coke. They haven't said anything about Coca-Cola. That doesn't mean that they're not, but they haven't written in this report that they have a meeting coming up to address these issues.
Hey, good evening.
Good evening.
What I want to say is that today is DEI, tomorrow is the rest of our civil rights that we fought for and died. We taking it too lightly. We should be ashamed of ourselves. That's why they don't have any respect for it. That's as much money as we spend in McDonald's. Matter of fact, since this happened, I go to McDonald's, they don't even hire blacks. Even in Harlem, even in Newark, New Jersey, I don't care where you go. Start taking notice of who these companies are hiring. That's a shame. Right there on the 149th, right when it's on 125th Street, they don't hire no black Americans. But then again, our youth are becoming so materialistically enslaved that if they ain't got a $300 pair of Jordans or a $500 pair of jeans, you can't even spell your own damn name. But yet you need exotic, you need stuff that rich people don't even wear. Their kids ain't wearing that. You looking rich and you poor. Your mom's out here wearing stuff off the table while you got top of the line goose downs and goose knuckles, whatever the hell they call all them coats.
Moose knuckles.
$1,300, $1,500, $2,000 for a coat? But your lights is off, your cable is off. You up there stealing cable. Now, what's important, though, I just want you to know that we have to start taking this more seriously. This room should be crowded. Should be standing room only.
Thank you, sir.
Most of this is done by fear. And because of what's going on, they tried to intimidate people, and that's why they all want to drop DEI. DEI is about fairness. It's about equality. It's about justice. And so when we stand up for DEI, that's standing up so that everything will be equal. So that when you go out to get a job next to the white guy, they'll look at your score and look at his score and say, because you got a bigger score, it has nothing to do with your skin color, you're qualified. What happens when we go out and they take DEI away, it's like you come out with a 98, they come out with a 68, and they get the job because of the color of their skin. So we have to stand up and fight in every way we can. We have to stand up and fight, and if it means forgetting your chicken nuggets, forgetting your fries, forgetting about Mickey D, 3 days out the week, if you do go there 5 days out the week and you stay out 3 days and you convince your friends to stay out, they'll wind up in the red, because it's a lot of black people that order at McDonald's every single day, and they're not even hiring the people no more. They're not hiring you, but they want your money. So we, as young people, and, seasoned salts, have to stand up and fight back. Because when we fight back with our money, with our power, because money is power, we win the situation. But if we don't stand up, see, it's not only us. When we talk to you, you talk to your friends talk to their friends, their mother and father, and that's the way information is passed down. And when everybody knows it and everybody stand together, we win. It's no way in the world that we can't win if we all stand together. Because unity bring strength to the community.
Thank you so much. All right. Just pass the mic when you're done behind.
Hi, I have two areas I want to talk about, but before I do that, I just want to welcome the young people here. My name is Ms. Pinnell. If I could ever be of service to you, please let me know. If I can help you in any area, you're not just attending a meeting, you're attending a family. I know because my daughter grew up here and everybody helped them. So if I could ever help you guys do anything, just let me know. PepsiCo. Dominic, I wanted to ask you, now PepsiCo is right in White Plains. Are there any actions maybe to go protest or anything like that?
Is who getting action?
I mean, they're, the headquarters is in White Plains, so it's close by. Is there
Oh,
any
you're saying a
plans?
plan to go protest
Yes,
there
right.
at PepsiCo? Yeah, we should put that, we should note that for sure.
Yeah, because it's in White Plains.
Yeah.
Now, also, I just want to say one thing about PepsiCo. I took on PepsiCo in April of 2013. I got a call from Emmett Till's family that Lil Wayne had derogatory lyrics in his music. My daughter and I went on a social media blitz, and needless to say, we got, about 3 days later, we got an email from PepsiCo saying that they were going to drop Lil Wayne's tour. So it is possible to take them on and fight them and win.
Right.
That was in 2013. Okay, the second thing, as far as stocks are concerned, there's a way for you to start doing stocks right now. That's very not intimidating. Stocks are intimidating to a lot of black and brown communities. How many people have Cash App? Any of you have Cash App? Go on Cash App. You can put $5 in stock right now on Cash App. Okay, I did it. I put $5 on the pharmaceutical company that was doing Ozempic. I feel like last year everybody was doing Ozempic, to help you lose weight. The next day I had 36 cents on $5. Can you imagine if I had a lot of money? So go on Cash App, look at the stocks available. You can put $1 or $2 and invest in a company. That's the way for you to get started right now.
Very good. Thank you so much.
Thank you. And if you need help, I'm a teacher too. I want to say that this affirmative action started with President Kennedy. And right now, it's really not about what color we are. As Americans, we're being attacked. There's no Yugoslavia, there's no USSR, nations aren't hearing, our planes are crashing. And because when they make this against affirmative action and say that they want to screen people, no DEI, they're really taking over the business. A lot of businesses are going out of business. So we have to support our economy and our rights. And we have to not divide us, because that's what we want to do. We have to stand up for the right to work. Everybody needs to work. They want to get rid of our money. They want to make crypto. Right now, it's a scary world because they made pay for TV. Now, the people that get away with doing wrong, when the TV was free, they would expose it. But now that the TV is for money, it's a biased.
Thank you.
I want to encourage the young people to think proactive more so than reactive. I am tired of begging white businesses to treat us fairly, to take our money. Let's start our own business. Instead of fighting, let's focus on building. During this time, these companies, this is God's open door for us to start our own company. Instead of just holding back the money from these companies, let's put that money somewhere where we can build our own. We don't have to beg them to accept us. We don't have to beg them to treat us equally. Let's build our own Target. Let's build our own Walmart. It's over 40 million African Americans in this country. And we can't own our own stuff. We don't need to beg nobody else to let us use theirs. Let's build our own. Let's have our own economy. Let's have our own stores, our own restaurants, and stop begging the white man and every other colored man to treat us fairly. I'm tired of developers coming into Harlem, and we going to community board meetings and compromising with them on how many people from the community to hire. Where are the black developers? Where are the black construction workers? I encourage you all young people to take this seed, plant it, and build something for your people.
Thank you.
That's true. That's true. Well, I've stopped since 2013. I stopped buying into McDonald's because they don't care. I used to work for them. Burger King, McDonald's. They don't care about us. When they don't treat us fair and we're not equal to them. I don't know how many of y'all go to charter schools or y'all go to regular public schools? Huh?
They go to private school.
Oh, well, isn't charter private? But
Private is private.
yeah, but we have to start with the young people, like you're saying. It hurts us when we don't. If we need stuff, let's buy it from our people and buy it from Dr. Reverend Al Sharpton right here. If I want water, let me give my dollars. Let me buy water from here. That's what.
Thank you.
Thank you. I just want to say I am really elated, Dominique, to hear the news that you just announced that the National Action Network will be participating and buying up shares in all of these companies. Let's give the National Action Network a round of applause. And it was through those efforts, and I just want to remind the listening audiences and to our young people, I've got a message for you too before I sit down, but this is how we were able to get Viacom and BET to change their derogatory images between the hours of 12 p.m. and 6 p.m. during impressionable times where young people like yourself would come out of school and they would be subjected to watching videos, music videos, that were a little explicit and was towards and geared to an older crowd. And because they did not hear our cries and didn't respond to our letters asking them to not change their program totally, but to just move their programming to a later time so that it won't be as impressionable on you young people. They didn't want to do that. So Delvin Coates out of Ohio, I think it is. Delaware. Came to Shiloh Baptist Church where Reverend DeQuincy M. Hentz was the pastor and I was one of the organizers. He came to us and said, well, this is the problem we have at hand. BET and Viacom doesn't respect our communities and doesn't respect our audiences. So we need to do something to make a change. So what did we do? We had all of the churches come together and all of the church members come together and we purchased stock in BET and Viacom. And what did we do? We held protests outside of the home of Deborah Lee out in D.C. and Philip Damone here in New York City every Saturday for I forget how many months. And we even got the support of their neighbors. They came out of their homes and townhouses and marched along with us, gave us tea, hot chocolate, cookies, and supported our efforts because they felt that these images were not meant to be presented to young people at that time. So I applaud the National Action Network for doing that. We not only did that, but we marched outside of the shareholders meeting. We went into the shareholders meeting right downtown. I forget where it was downtown. And we sat in the shareholders meeting and said, listen, we are shareholders and we demand change. And guess what? We got change along with a la carte cable. So when we come together in unity, we can make a change. And I just want to say, last but not least, young people, I was your age. When you said 7th grade, my light bulb went off because I was in 7th grade when I first joined the National Action Network. And when I came to the National Action Network because I was in a boys choir of Harlem. And my group, I had a band, and there was something called the Million Youth March that was taking place, a historical march right here in Harlem that started at 116th Street. And me and my band wanted to perform. But at that time, we had a mayor named Mayor Rudolph Giuliani. And we had something called Stop and Frisk, where people of color, young black men, young black women were being stopped and profiled by the police department. So that changed my whole frame of mind and said, how can I get up and perform and sing a song or play a song when our people are suffering at the hands of the same people that are sworn to protect us? So I said, no, I want to be a speaker. So I told Mama Sharpton, I said, I want to be a speaker. She said, well, go down and speak to Khalid, go down to the organizing meeting, and that's exactly what I did. And I was the first speaker of the day at the Million Youth March, one of the most peaceful speakers of the Million Youth March. So what I'm trying to say is you are never too young to get involved. And as we deal with this DEI, it is really serious because I love McDonald's, but I had to stop myself yesterday. I said, wait a minute. I was walking, I'm not gonna lie, I was walking down the street, going to McDonald's, and I said, yo.
My 6-year-old son.
I said, yo, I can't do this. You know, and I grew up on McDonald's, so I say that to say, I see nothing but young people in McDonald's. I see them calling their parents, asking them to Cash App and Zelle them money for McDonald's. And so, like Uncle Ernie, as I call him, said, you have the power in your hands to make changes right now at the age that you are. So please go back and tell your friends, tell your neighbors your age that we cannot support companies that will not give you a chance. You're in the 7th grade now, but by the time you're 18, you're going to want a job in some of these conglomerate corporations. I'm almost sure you're going to have the education and the knowledge and the wisdom to be the president or a CEO of these companies. But unless you guys now start, it was the young people in the 60s that made the change during the civil rights movement. Somebody mentioned Rosa Parks. It was a young Rosa Parks who sat in the front of the bus. It was young people your age that refused to get on a bus and march every day to and from school. So I'm not going to take up too much more of this time, but I hope to see you again. I hope you take this message back to the other young people, and God bless you, and thank you for coming. I hope to see you
so
again.
much. So y'all know we are DEI demonstrations are every Thursday. Make sure that if you want to do something, you could do something with us every Thursday. And so we want to definitely keep the fire burning and keep the conversations going because we know we can activate change. Thank you so much.
The title of the article I'm reading is USAID Programs at Risk of Being Gutted by Elon Musk and What They Cost. The article proceeds to read President Donald Trump and Department of Government Efficiency head Elon Musk are gutting the United States Agency for International Development, otherwise known as USAID. But foreign aid represents only a tiny fraction of the federal budget. Why it matters, the Trump administration announced on Tuesday that nearly all USAID workers would be withdrawn from the field amid efforts to dismantle the agency. The United States, U.S. pays more in foreign aid than any other country, the article reads. And it also goes on to say the other countries and dismantling USAID emerged as a key priority for the president in the early days of his current term. Many programs were viewed at risk of being ended amid the Reconstruction and due to his executive order ending diversity, equity, and inclusion programs in the federal government. So there's some serious concerns here that the article seems to be bringing to light, so to speak. So critics view these programs as misuse of taxpayer dollars, arguing these funds should be spent at home to tackle priorities such as border security. The article continues on to explain. Others see these humanitarian projects as necessary, not only to improve living standards for millions, but also to have key national security implications. So that's a key point to take note to in the article. It goes on to mention a professor of international affairs at the George Washington University, speaking with Newsweek, indicating that interruptions to these programs funded by USAID will lead to, quote, an unimaginable amount of human suffering across the globe, end quote. The article continues on with another quote that says, beyond the operational and technical humanitarian assistance is about helping others. It's the impulse to deliver a meal to your friend who has cancer or donate to a food drive for victims of a hurricane. It's the belief that every life is worth saving and every human has a right to life with dignity. The professor of international affairs at the George Washington University, Miriam C. DeLawfrey, had said. According to the article, the White House on Wednesday touted a list of foreign aid programs Trump views as wasteful that are likely to be cut at the end of the 90-day freeze in a form on their Rapid Response X account. Continuing on with the article, there's mentions that among the projects the White House takes issue with, they listed $20 million for a new Sesame Street show in Iraq, There is a mention of $1.5 million and $5.5 million to promote LGBTQ plus advocacy in Jamaica and Uganda, two countries where members of the LGBTQ plus community have few legal rights. The article goes on to mention the administration also pointed to programs to fund $6 million for tourists in Egypt, more than $19 million to promote inclusion in Vietnam, and $5 million to Eco Health Alliance, described as, quote, one of the key NGOs funding bat virus research at the Wuhan lab, end quote. The article also goes on to state that, quote, for decades, USAID bureaucrats believed they were accountable to no one, but that era is over, end quote, the White House wrote. President Trump is stopping the waste, fraud, and abuse, quote, the article reads. And the article goes on to say a whole lot more. Do I have time to continue to read on? All right, so, and wrapping up, we got some serious roadblocks ahead. We got some serious concerns. There seems to be some level of contradicting information we should be addressing, but if anyone has any inquiries regarding the article, you're welcome to come up as I read the what's happens next section of the article that states, decisions about which programs are being cut are expected to be made within 90 days of January the 20th. Reimbursement for approved programs will resume at the end of the review period. But many programs are expected to be halted, the article does state, so we should prepare ourselves. United States, we are ready. And I'm going to hand the microphone over, I believe, Mrs. Ashley Sharpton, is that your turn to speak?
I'll take that as no comments for Dan. All right, we're gonna skip Treese, and we're gonna try to be done in 10 minutes, all right? Amen? All right. Does anybody know what they changed on the NFL field? Besides them to set up for Kendrick's performance. All right, and racism, all right about me. I didn't know you were paying attention. All right. So former Winnipeg Blue Bombers running back Willard Reeves is not one to mince words, but he thinks the NFL did just that when it decided to change a slogan that's become a regular sight at football games for the last few years. End racism was stenciled in the end zone of last year's Super Bowl field. This year, it's being replaced with Choose Love for Super Bowl in New Orleans on Sunday. Does anybody have an issue with that? No? Yes? Why? Okay, wait, hold on. I'm going to read the rest of it. Hold on. We're going to come to you. Okay, so Willard says racism is not something you tiptoe around. Just go head first right to it. Racism is racism. Call it for what it is. Call it out. Willard said in an interview with CBS News, people need to stop cowering. Former Winnipeg Blue Bomber Willard Reeves was with the team in 1984 when they won the Grey Cup. He's the dual Canadian U.S. citizen and three-time CFL All-Star who played 5 seasons. He believes the league removed the word racism because it's yielding to political pressure. Donald Trump is going to be attending the Super Bowl this year, and he is one of the biggest racist people that we know of. Willard says his assertion is based on his assessment of the entirety of the U.S. president's actions, including calling factions of white supremacists carrying tiki torches at a protest in Charlottesville, Virginia, very fine people, calling Kamala Harris a low IQ person, having only one black person in his cabinet during his first term, and calling on the NFL team owners to fire players who took a knee in protest during the national anthem. During this past season, NFL teams have stenciled "It takes all of us" on one end zone and vote "End racism, stop hate," or "Choose love" for the other end zone, according to the Associated Press. Okay, so the words "Choose love," are displayed in the end zone of AT&T Stadium before an NFL football game. It was done in early January. "Choose love" will appear or did appear in the end zone at Caesars Superdome in New Orleans for the Super Bowl 2025. This was written 3 days before the Super Bowl, so that's why it's written like that. Skimming so that we don't have to read all of this. An NFL spokesperson explained the shift to choose love was because of recent traumatic events in the United States, including wildfires in Southern California and plane crashes near Washington, D.C. and Philadelphia. NFL Commissioner Roger Goodell said the league got into diversity efforts because we felt it was the right thing for the National Football League, and we're going to continue those efforts. We're not in this because it's a trend to get into it or a trend to get out of it. Our efforts are fundamental in trying to attract the best possible talent into the National Football League. So with that said, and with the excuses said, you heard Roger Goodell, the commissioner, what he said, and you saw what was done. Some people say it's not a big deal, choose love is not bad. Reverend Sharpton made a statement on Saturday in regards to it. He speaks for himself. I totally agree with what Rev said. Is it an issue to you? Are we overreacting? Do you think it's a whitewash of what was written? And racism is completely different from choose love. Completely different. And I think it's completely two different statements. But before I share how I feel, it was brought up because this was a suggestion, this was emailed to be talked about. They said that it was not being covered because of basically what's been going on with Kendrick Lamar and the excitement of what people saw with the Super Bowl, and basically the removal of end racism is not even, nobody cares because it's just washed away within the hoopla of the Super Bowl. Do you all agree? Do you think we're harping on something that's not that serious? Think about the Kaepernick. Think about what he lost. Think about his sacrifice. And I'm not gonna go there because, well, I am gonna go there. So Jay-Z used to be my favorite artist. Like I used to fight. I never had to fight in my life, but I used to be almost near fight for Jay-Z, right? Because I thought he was so lyrically ridiculous and ahead of his time, and I still do. But the NFL thing, and a lot of things happen, he was put in position or got a position. Basically, some people say that he sold out Kaepernick. Basically, he was given the deal and the money to basically blackify the NFL or make it safe for them to do what they wanted to do, and Kaepernick basically never got a job. So are we forgiving the NFL? Are we dwelling on too much, or is this not that serious? There's other things to worry about. I just need 2 comments, and then we can wrap. You said he had a comment. I want to hear from you. Let's clap him up.
My name is Daniel, and I'm 20 years old. Personally, I think it is two separate, or not two separate, but multiple separate issues. I think the choose love and the end racism is separate from the Colin Kaepernick scenario. If I was to look at it from the Colin Kaepernick and the take a knee and the NFL being or having like racist shades, of course, almost all entities and almost everything has some sort of racist background. But I'm not gonna lie, I try not to look for the problem in every situation. Like, choose love is a message that I wanna spread myself. So just because it's not a particular end racism message, of course we wanna end racism. But I don't think we need to fight every, how do I put it? Yeah, choose our battles. Choose our battles. This is a battle. They're not saying for example, in 2020 with the All Lives Matter, All Lives Matter is crazy because that was a protest to a protest. You know what I'm saying? They weren't just saying All Lives Matter. It was a protest to the Black Lives Matter movement. I feel like this choose love scenario, that's not the same thing as in you feel me? Because especially with the things that they were saying, some of the excuses that bro brought up was the helicopter crash situation. There's a lot of different situations going on. So yeah, choose love. Feel me?
Thank you, Daniel. Let's clap him up. Come on. I'm gonna let them skip the line because they're young people. Come on. And that's critical thinking. I'm glad that he thought about his answer and backed it up. Good job, Daniel.
Okay. Hi, everybody. My name is Ariana. I'm 22, and that's my little brother. I think our approach in things is a bit different. He's someone that likes to be, who likes to just be, how do I put this? He's a bit more nicer than me. I'm a person that kind of does like to fight every battle. So I would say that I do think that end racism is a problem for me, at least, because I think that it just goes along with Donald Trump's plan of creating a colorless America, whatever that means. And it just, like you were, like Ms. Ashley was reading in the article where it said, like, they're yielding to political pressure. So if you say, okay, that okay, Donald Trump is coming to the Super Bowl, so we're gonna remove this message that he might not agree with and put it with something else which is more palatable for people to digest, I think that that just goes along with what he's trying to push, or the narrative that he's trying to push, that we need to take color and race and stuff like that out of America. And I think that's just detrimental, because that can lead to other things being pulled back, like we see DI being reversed. So I think it's just a smaller problem that can snowball into something bigger if we don't tackle it and cause outrage now. So yeah.
I yield. I clap both of y'all up. Y'all had completely two different answers, and you both supported them well. You set it up, and you supported it. I salute. Who brought y'all? Who y'all with? Y'all lit. Y'all clap them up. Clap them up. I want to see y'all again. Come on, Jaka. Now we're on the high. Bring it home.
Yeah, I just want to say I agree with the young people, because the young people are poor, and this country, right now, we got to be worried about all these migrants that we don't know where they're from. We're all American, and America is great. The football team is great because you got black and white working together as a team. That's sportsmanship. That's what makes America great. So we got to focus on the positive.
Did you say the young people were poor? Is that what you said? Did I mishear you? Oh, pure. Woo, okay, I'm sorry, because I was like, what? All I heard was, and I went left and zoned out. I'm so sorry. Because I was about to say, we're not going to do that today. Okay, come on, Thomas, I'm so sorry. So sorry. Glad she said pure, because I don't want y'all to be mad online too, virtual. Pure. Go ahead, Thomas Patterson.
What I'd like to say is that one of the major issues that we can address this situation is that there's 3 companies that control 85% of every major company. BlackRock, which is based in New York City, Vanguard. These companies are worth $15 to $20 trillion.
Trillion.
And they own 60 to 70% of every major company from McDonald's. Why chase after these other small companies, even McDonald's? Go after BlackRock. They control the money. They control the foundation of this madness that's going on. There's no reason in the world, like the young man, like the brother said earlier, why are we busy fighting that? Let's create our own. Like Rev Sharpton said this weekend, they have the, what's the thing with Jesse Jackson, where we get the money?
Operation Push?
No, not Push, the bread basket. We need to strengthen the bread basket. We need to hold these companies liable of creating program, but like you said, we have to do it on our own. I'm a man. I don't want nobody to feed me unless we handicapped.
Heard you. And like he said, so everyone, he's giving out, he's the man of his word. Let's clap Thomas Patterson up. He kept his deal to these young people, $5 each. Never know what's gonna happen at a huddle. All right, so, but just to back up what he said, that's why Reverend Sharpton said there's a 90-day research happening, and now it's up to like 81 now. But that's why we have to have proper research, because we just don't want to jump the gun, and we could be basically boycotting one whole group that just knocks out all of them in one. So we're just waiting on it, but some people are already participating. A few people here are already boycotting. We've heard that on the mic. I am. So the article that Dominique read, I literally found that on Google. The information is out there. So we print those out, and there will be a stack in the back so that you have it and you can make your own decisions as well, if you don't want to wait for our 90 days, all right? Danielle.
It's important to understand that steps in the right direction are integral to making progress in a movement. So understanding the message that Ashley had mentioned when it is involving the language that mentions to choose love, I do believe that in most circumstances and instances, and forensically should be the case. Yet using the particular NFL, large conglomerate example as a case example, we should be leaning in towards dissecting the specific case example and dissecting what has been going on with NFL over years and years and years, since the NFL has been one of the most successful football season revenue generating organizations, if I'm not mistaken. That's why these football players are so highly paid, because a lot of the buy-ins from those who are advertising during halftime or not halftime while the Super Bowl is airing on national television, it's quite expensive. They have large budgets, so it's important that they are being conscientious with some of the decisions that they're making when they're making things visible to the public. And one of the things I heard Vice President Kamala Harris mention in the past is that Reverend Sharpton has been, so to speak, the conscience of a part of the presidential administration she was vice president too. So it's important to be conscientious with decisions that are being made, especially as opinion leaders, as gatekeepers, which NFL for many very well may be. So steps in the right direction, I think, are being seen, but we shouldn't lean back from dissecting, understanding how NFL can continue to make progressive steps in the right direction towards being more conscientious and culturally sensitive.
Thank you, D. Look at her face. She don't know what you just said. So I want you to understand. I'm clapping you up, but I want you to understand when y'all get on the mic, the audience, try to make them understand. Break it down so that they understand what y'all are saying. Don't just jump ahead and because I don't even know what half of what you just said. So try to be clear, concise, stay on point. I'm gonna give you an assignment, and if y'all come back next week, one of y'all is gonna be up here helping me. Anybody has a phone out? Get your phone out. We said we're supposed to be done. We already over time. We said by 7:50. So I need you to time a timer. When it hits, what should we say, 30 seconds or 60? 30 seconds. When we get to 30 seconds, wrap. Can y'all make sure, okay? I'm serious, right now. So as soon as she starts, time. Okay? No disrespect, we just gotta wrap, because we wanna get them out of here on time.
Okay.
Agreed? Ready? Go.
You were, what was you were
See,
talking,
you already messed up.
Wait a
You
minute.
messed up.
Listen, was you talking about the football player being married to a, I don't know.
In racism.
What was you said love.
In racism, it was replaced with choose love on the football field.
So is he married to a white woman? I don't know. I'm asking you, because things that you say to, when you say stuff, I don't remember, I don't understand.
I got you, okay.
That's why I'm asking, you're saying true love. True love with what?
Okay, so I'm gonna show you the
With a
story
white
after.
man and a black woman?
So
I don't know.
We're not gonna be confused.
I don't know, okay?
We're not gonna
Certain
be confused.
things you say, I don't know.
Thank you, Sandra.
I don't understand.
Thank you. If you do not understand the question, you should not come up to answer it. I'm just saying it. We explained it. The whole story was about us them removing, the NFL removed end racism and replaced it with choose love. That's what it was about. I'm not sure where you got a couple or colors or wife being white or black. I don't know where you went, and that could be used and chopped up and taken somewhere else. So let's focus. Everyone. Let's focus. There's no reason to be combative or reactive. Everyone else is on the same page. If you do not know the question, do not come to the mic with an answer. Because how can you bring an answer with no question? And it's not there shouldn't be a battle. If the young people understand, I'm not sure why the elders are not understanding. Let's stay on the same page. TV, take us home.
Love is a consciousness level and a bodily experience. Once you experience love, there's nothing else to talk about. People who don't understand love are telling you how less intelligent, how less conscious they are, because love is a high consciousness level that's been discovered by and presented by a guy named David R. Hawkins, who created a book called Power versus Force, using muscle testing to determine different levels of consciousness. It's way higher. Okay, I'm complete.
Thank you. Thank you, Tony Veer. So again, all the articles that we read tonight will be printed and put in the back. You can, the entire huddle is on NAN's YouTube and Facebook if you want to argue with us online, and take it up on the side. Would anybody want to volunteer to close us out in prayer? Come on, brother. We did not ask y'all to the side. come on, brother. Can we all rise up? And we're wrapping at 8 o'clock. Can we stand together, hold hands? Thank you again for young people for coming out tonight and staying awake with us and being active, and I hope you return. Let's close this out.
Lord, we want to thank you for this time of fellowship together, God. We thank you for bringing us safe this far, God. We ask that you will continue to open our minds, even when we walk out the doors, that you will continue to pour in us, God, that you will continue to give us vision, God. We pray that the spirit of unity will dwell in this house, God. Let peace dwell here, joy dwell here, God, and protect and cover each person, God, from the top of their head to the soles of their feet, and cover their mind, God. Protect their mind, God. In Jesus' mighty name, amen.
Thank you. Y'all eat first, so y'all gotta go home.
Your permission.